Hello everyone, welcome to the Top 16 Division 2 League of Light. Right now we have got RollingBear, my good buddy Steven, taking on Overcast in an exciting League of Light matchup. We had their deck list beforehand, so for once I actually kind of know what we're getting into, and it seems like Mono Fire Mirror Match is going to be the name of the game here, so we're going to see how this goes. So I believe the top 16 for Division 2, it's not elimination or bracket style. This is going to be more rounds of Swiss. And then whoever has highest amount ends of rounds of Swiss is either just declared the winner or there'll be a little playoff. That part I'm not 100% sure on. But, all right. And Overcast is going to start us off, discarding Rayne, getting out Kuchaspel. This might be pretty relevant in this matchup because if both players are running Philia, Philia's abilities, Philia's protection can get turned off by the Kuchaspel, so that could be very relevant. And RollingBear is going to toss out a Ranjit as well as a Rayne. Put down Zaz, go search a Fire Summon of choice, grabs an Ifrit. Interesting he didn't grab Amaterasu, but he might not be worried too much about what his opponent's going to do, that there's really any auto abilities he wants to cancel. This is going to be pretty funny because, like I said, we're going to see pretty similar cards. We've already seen a Rayne thrown out on both sides, so when you've got a fire mirror match, I feel like backups are definitely important. You know, if one player's going to curve out to 5 and the other player's going to stall at 2 or 3, that's going to make a huge difference. So, all right, Overcast is going to summon Terra. We discarded an Emperor Zandi as well as a Bahamut, and then Terra's going to go ahead and get back that very Bahamut. Interesting, haven't seen this Bahamut a whole lot, so I wonder if we have Bahamut in this deck list. So this Bahamut can only be paid with CP produced by backups to cast. That was the big reason most people just felt like this was such a dud of a card for the... I mean, it was basically the poster kid for Opus 8, right? He was on the box cover. But you know, who wants to summon that you can only cast off of backups? They've used that for a few other things, too. I remember the Back Attack Tidus Legend in Opus 7 had a very similar restriction that could only be cast off of backups, and that just makes things so awkward. So RollingBear just says, well, we're going to go and get rid of this Terra right away. He pitched an Ifrit from hand to cast this. Interesting. So he had a CP he could use, but he went ahead and pitched for that. Now, to be fair, had he not done that, yeah, he would have still had a card in hand anyway, so that's probably why he did it. He figured, well, you know, I'm going to have to pitch something anyway, and if we do have Amaterasu in hand, we have got, you know, one extra CP to cast it with. Here we go, no value ace. I'm already amused by this matchup because it's just going to be like these just constant forms of removal to Ifrit. In this break zone already, we pitched a K-Tuna, which, yeah, it's you never, like, K-Tuna is a card you always want on the field because of the buff it gives to your fire summons, but it also casts one for free only when it enters, so you never really want to slam it down unless your opponent... has a target for it. All right, so we definitely have the Ifrit Afrita list. Looks like we pitched another one-cost Ifrit and an Afrita, and then we just went ahead and pulled Afrita back, which, again, we can cast off of the Zaz if we really need to. Not bad, but I definitely know RollingBear's play style. He does not want to be sitting here on one backup. He wishes he was carving out more. So if you're Overcast here, if you're able to keep curving out backups, I'd say you 100% do it. Let the Terra hit you. Surely you've got a bunch of burst in this deck, it being a fire deck, so maybe you'll just get lucky on a burst anyway. All right, Overcast has tapped 1 CP, went ahead and threw out that Bahamut, and we got down Furion. Furion is a really good card, especially in Mono Fire in this matchup, but unfortunately he put him down without 3 backups out, so his biggest advantage is the fact that he would have haste. He just doesn't have it, so the card's just going to sit there. It's going to give RollingBear an easy target if he's got any kind of fire combo. Excuse me. Smallest of summons, especially while we've got Terra on the field, can easily finish this off. We really would like to see this card get down with LeBro, have that extra 2,000, maybe just this 10k first strike haster. It'd be awesome, but at the moment, it's not meant to be. Dolzaz, throw out Amaterasu, get the Geomancer. Finally, RollingBear seeing some backups. He will, of course, reveal a fire card. No surprise here. It is a mono fire deck. Good thing it says fire card. If that's a fire character, he would have gotten screwed over right there with that Ifrit, but that's why this Geomancer is awesome. Love this card. I was so happy when this card got revealed in Opus 10. It's just like, yes, that's the kind of card Mono Fire definitely wanted. So at this point, now he still has 6 in hand, so he's going to have to do something. So if he doesn't have another backup, I wonder if we attack with the Terra and maybe try to bluff that, hey, any single summon, I mean, as long as it does 5k, and then Terra's going to ping the rest, so we'll see what he does here. All right, and we're going to discard Ophelia, as well as that 4-cost Ifrit, cast our 3-cost, going to just blast this Furion for 8k. Terra's going to hit another 2k as well, so, I mean, I assume this guy's just dead. There's no reason to really do anything else. I guess in theory, if we had an Amaterasu, we could counter the Terra ability, and then everyone's just going to die. Perhaps that's what we're doing? Because surely, we're going to counter with our own Ifrit. Does that matter, though? So the Terra will absolutely die, but this is still 10k. It's not going to be enough to keep the Furion alive. Again, if we'd had Lebro out or enough backups, that Ifrit could have boosted our Terra, but nope, we're just going to say, okay, Fire Wars. And I won't lie, that's probably going to be a lot of this match. Look at all the Ifrits we've already got in this break zone. Check over on this break zone. Not nearly as many. Not nearly as many as summons. We definitely got a couple more forwards. But RollingBear, since he is doing the Afrida package, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we've already got 5 Ifrits in here, so Afrida is going to do all 3 of her effects, or 2 of her effects in this case, because I don't think either player is running Monster. Maybe 1 or 2 is running Bomb. Overcast is just to say, well, no action pass. Oh boy, these mono fire mirror matches, man, they often can evolve into this of just, yep, and their RollingBear is going to pass as well. Nobody wants to play forwards because they know that the moment they do, the other person's just going to, boom, blast it with an Ifrit or something. Okay, so we do have a monster. So our Afrida actually will have access to that 3rd ability now. Really, and they're both stuck at 2 backups right now, too. Would really like to see more backups come out. There's Lebro. That's good. Yeah, we really would have liked to have seen that for that Furion, although we still would have needed all 5 backups for him to live through that Terra Ifrit ping, but that's okay. All right, now we're picking up speed here a little bit. RollingBear's going to throw out Rubicante. Love this guy. Great. I mean, again, it's not much of a comparison because the other Rubicantes were so awful, but it's so nice to have one of these that's just solid. Geomancer comes in, is going to hit us a Blaze. Nice. So we've got another backup, which we could slam down right now if we wanted to. We'll have to overpay, but we're going to have to discard for a turn anyway, and obviously we don't have a target for the Blaze, but I feel like maybe this is what we're going to go for. So, see what RollingBear does with it. I don't know what else he has in hand, but unless we want to jam a forward out right now, which we could. So his bomb's got 1 counter. It's going to deal 4,000 at the moment. And yes, we'll go ahead and put out Rubicante. So if our opponent gets rid of it with no forwards on the board, he's not going to get his death trigger, but that's all right. We actually pitched the Blaze. Interesting. Wonder if we've got another copy, or we just don't even value it that much right now. Maybe we're looking for something else. Man, this was a card that I really thought it was just going to be a double version of Vivi when I first saw it, because it's 5,000 but to 2 people and it costs 2 more. It's like, okay, it's Vivi if you want +1, but really that action ability is quite nice. The fact that he just taps, puts himself into the break zone, choose a forward, deal at 7,000 damage. This is the kind of thing that I really just don't understand about some of their card design choices. This feels like it was purposely made to push fire, as opposed to thought about what would be a fair action ability, because you've got other action abilities that do less damage, that cost more. I mean, this guy doesn't have to pay anything extra. He just taps himself and breaks to deal anything 7,000 damage. That's huge. And that's on top of a burst, on top of his entry blast 2 cards. Whereas you've got other cards out there that, again, have to tap and they have to pay so much CP, and then they'll do, 2,000 damage or some 1,000 damage, nothing very big. And it's just so strange. This definitely feels like it was a pushed effect. I mean, think of even the Samurai backup. The Samurai, which I think you have to tap and then pay 3 fire to deal 8,000 damage to something, but you can also only use it if you have 3 Samurai on the board. It's just, yeah. Very interesting the way they design similar cards like that. All right, Overcast is going to pitch our Amano Ifrit and get it right back with this Terra he summoned. Bomb will get another counter. And let's see. And, of course, Rolling Bear says, actually, let's go ahead and put that back. We'll just kill the Terra on the spot, and we'll just get that Ifrit right back in the break zone. Oh, my goodness. Look at all these fire summons. Can we get a Cecil? Is there a Ishtola or a Minwu in the house? Which wouldn't matter with this guy on the field. So we've got 2 Ifrit in Overcast break zone. And what do we got? Look at all these summons. We've got 2 Amaterasu already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ifrit plus an Afrita. Mist Dragon would be huge here. Just dump those out. And hey, we've got our first point of damage. Going to hit a VV straight into damage. That's pretty nice. And Rubicante will live for the moment. Back on Overcast turn, he threw out Furion and tap 2 to put out Mutsuki. I like the Mutsuki, and we've got our bomb counter up. I really don't like throwing out Furion, though. In this kind of matchup, you need as big a bodies as you can get. So to me, this is one of your win cards that, let's see. With Lebro out, if you've got 5 backups, he is going to be 10,000, right? Yeah. 10,000 power, haste, first strike. Even that can be taken out by a slew of these summons, but it's probably one of the biggest bodies you're going to have. So, and Rolling Bear will hit him a G-Sin to the break zone. He's more than happy to see that gone. We don't want to ramp up any value. And now we'll put our own Terra, get back anything we want. Probably going to grab Amaterasu. So this way we can just, again, no matter what our opponent does. Yeah. Poor Overcast has not had a forward, I think, stay on the board for a single turn so far. Maybe the Furion did, but either way, nothing's gotten to attack, obviously. So, and we will pass back after that. All right, Overcast will drop Rayne on the board. Did we have to pick? No, Rayne is a 2-cost right now. So we tap 2, brought out Rayne. We're going to hit the Terra for, it's 4,000, right? Yeah, for 1,000 for each backup. So 4,000. Oh, man, we're just shy. Oh, and then the Mutsuki. Okay, but no, we can finish it off with the Mutsuki. Yep, that's good. Mutsuki will reactivate. For the moment, Rayne's actually alive, although there's no haste, so he can't counter. Hooray, we did it. We got something off our opponent's board. And yep, just a little reminder, Mutsuki will activate after that, since our opponent did lose a forward. And we will pass it back to Rolling Bear. We've got 7 cards in hand, working with 3 backups. And we're just going to go right into attack phase. Yeah, we can just freely swing with this Rubicante, because if Rayne blocks it, we'll just kill it on the way out. You know what we could do? We could bomb it right now, and then Rubicante will deal damage to Rayne, but it won't be enough to kill it, so that would force Rolling Bear to have to commit something else to it, which, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't have an issue doing. He's got the backups. Heck, he could just... Well, no, he couldn't do a Geomancer. We'll let that through. It's an Ifrit. Well, we're getting rid of it all right. And yeah, you absolutely do. Here's the thing with this Rubicante, and oddly enough, I ran into this very situation with someone the other day. I was testing this in a Golbez Archfiends deck. It's like, you're going to have to get rid of it at some point. Its effect is going to go off. Yes, you're probably going to lose this Rayne, but you would rather lose the Rayne and get rid of the forward than lose the Rayne and not get rid. Look at all these summons. If he wants to finish this Rayne off, he's going to finish it off. You're not going to prevent him from doing that. So you might as well get the forward off the board, because you also don't want to just sit here and just take damage forever getting smacked in the face. So the question is, does Rolling Bear have anything to follow this up with? It's a mono fire deck with 7 in hand. I mean, you're thinking surely we could have our own Rayne. We could have Philia, which would be complete overkill. Any summon, I mean, there's no fire summon that's hitting less for 5k here, so any summon whatsoever is going to finish it off. Ranjit would have worked, and we threw out Braska's. Interesting. It's funny, Braska's oddly maybe isn't super great in a mono fire matchup. It just depends. If they're hitting you with a ton of summons when they don't have any forwards on board, you're just going to take them out. All right, so we're going to finish it off in style. Here comes our Vermilion Birdless Sea K-Tuna. What Ifrit do we hit it with is the real question. I don't think there's any Bahamut in this list. Obviously, we can't choose Amaterasu. And we'll go for our last Mono Ifrit. Is this our last one? Do we have one more? No. It looks like we still got one more. Yeah, so there you go. Perfect example. That K-Tuna on its own was going to blow the heck out of that Rayne. So this way, At least now, granted, he got kind of lucky with the burst. Personally, I would have blocked it, but it worked out anyway because the burst helped him out. But yeah, you lose the Rayne. Again, you're going to lose the Rayne anyway. And now at least that is one less summon to worry about from our opponent. We need a Mist Dragon. We got to keep these things from coming back. But of course, it's Mono Fire matchup, so there's not going to be one. All right, now we're responding with some force. Terra came in, got us back in a Mono Ifrit. Now we've got our Furion coming in. He finally has haste, so we can rush in for a point of damage, unless, of course, RollingBear just wants to stop him with a summon. He hasn't taken any points of damage, though, so unless he's determined to keep that value very low, I don't know if he feels any obligation or threat to do that. But it's clearly he's thinking about it. Okay, there's our third Geomancer. Probably wouldn't have been upset to draw that, just fill out the backup line, and then now we've got all three of these happy folk. So finally, Overcast gets to strike back, deal a point of damage to our opponent. RollingBear once again has 6 cards in hand, 4 backups to work with. Any summons he puts out are going to do 1,000 more damage. And a free to hear would be probably pretty devastating because we can do... Can we take out both the Terra and the... We'll take out the bomb. We'll at least take out the bomb and the Furion. I don't know if we can take out the Terra as well. Well, there's another way to take it out. Veritas of the Dark. Probably going to sack off the Terra here, I think. Or maybe, well, could respond with the bomb. No, we're just going to sack the Terra. That's probably fine. We've got a couple backups. Like, Ace has already done what he needs to do. He could go. I noticed Overcast has been very diligent about leaving this Kuchaspel up. Perhaps he is fearing that Philia, and he wants to just turn it off the moment it comes in, but especially since RollingBear's ahead right now, he clearly feels no pressure to do that. Oh boy, here's Zidane. Okay, well, we have to bomb this. You're going to lose your Furion if you don't. Yeah, you absolutely... I know it's overkill, but you drop the bomb on this little guy, which is probably what RollingBear's counting on, is baiting the bomb out with such a tiny attacker, but you can't let him take you to 4 and like, he's down to 2 cards in hand, so it's very unlikely he's going to cast another summon this turn, because even if he casts that 1 CPE for it, it's not going to be enough to kill. Yeah, the Furion. You have to protect the Furion here. You cannot let the Zidane hit you. You'll go to 4 damage, you lose your... This Furion is... You need him on the field, so... Unless we've got one in hand. I mean, if we have our own 1 CPE for it, that will also easily take us on. Then we can hold the bomb. But whatever you do, do not let the Zidane hit you, and then do not let it deal your Furion 8,000 damage. Whatever choice you make to prevent that, make that choice. And as predicted, we did use the bomb. Took out the Zidane that way, as we absolutely should have. Cannot let that card... Yeah, you just had to protect that card. Would love to see a 5th backup here. A Geomancer of our own, or just getting Fury into that extra 2,000. Especially with this K-Tune on the field, we're going to need all the help we can get. Plus, we'll get First Strike, so he's going to be able to get over everything. We dulled 4. We casting something here? We pitching 6. Or are we going to respond with our own K-Tuna? No! Surprise, surprise, we're responding with our own Veritas. So, the common play in the old day was, so now we have to sack a character, is to sack our own Veritas, and now our opponent would have to sack one of their backups. We opted to go for the Ace instead, which is fine. That's not terrible. I wonder what our opponent would have picked here. Probably Zaz. He's not doing anything for us anymore. That might have been worth it to take him down to 3 backups instead of losing one of our own. Because, again, I really want to see him get to 5 backups to keep this Furion up there. But I also understand keeping the Veritas up. Because the truth is, too, unless RollingBear is willing to burn an Amaterasu on the exit trigger, which doesn't really seem worth it, he's going to have to get rid of something for that Veritas eventually, which makes Veritas very nice in this match. I'm sure if he has his druthers... If he could get out something like Rubicante, that's actually a great Veritas target, especially when you've got, again, something like a Furion on the board. You can sack Rubicante and then just use its death trigger on that. We're doing 6. Oh, is this Philia? Oh, the one time his diligence failed him. Oh, no, his diligence failed him. He was so good about leaving the Kuchaspel up, and he didn't do it this time. Oh, do we have Amaterasu? Tell me we've got Amaterasu to stop this. It was so good. Yep, there we go. Okay, so 8 CP, but no effect. You've just got a big body on board. Now, to be fair, that's not awful because he doesn't take a point of damage, and now he still has the biggest body on the field. Again, 2 more backups right now. This is a 10k first strike. He's going to punish Philia all day long. So if we somehow drew 2 backups and can get them down, yeah, this Furion would be in such a good position right now. RollingBear saw it. He was like, the Kuchaspel's down? Okay, here comes Philia. The Amaterasu, and again, it's nice that we kept our board, but at the same time, he's got the bigger forward now. Now, the good news is he can still take damage from summons. So while we're not going to hit him with any abilities, like Mutsuki's pointless, any of the summons we have, the Bahamut wouldn't be bad here, although again, if we're running this Bahamut, we've got to get our backups down because you can't. Even if you have this Bahamut in hand, he'd be perfect. He'd completely remove this Philia from the game. Guess what? Can't use him because he has to be paid off of backups for some reason. So we will see what we drew here. Pitching 5. Is this 7? Oh, it's a Braska's final Aeon. Okay, well, that certainly works. Braska says, hey, Philia, guess what? You aren't going to be protected against this. Pretty good response there. We're kind of demanding our opponent do something. And what's really nice is that even if RollingBear responds with something like an Afrida to kill the Braskas, it is at least going to, in return, get to knock out the Philia, so it's really nice. I wonder if RollingBear runs Lebro in this list. I kind of have a feeling he doesn't. Or maybe he just hasn't drawn it. And then we're going to attack with Veritas? I don't like this. Well, no, I guess that's not bad, because if you do block with the Philia, you take out the Veritas, but then you're going to have to lose one of your backups. You've already got one in hand. Yeah, but he says that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. I don't know. I don't know if that was the time to use the Veritas. Might have been better to just wait, because there's no Shantoto in here, right? Like, you're going to get that Veritas trigger off, other than Amaterasu, so I feel like Veritas would have... That was not the time to run him into him. Because now if we draw another Zaz, we're more than happy to just put that down, go get ourselves a Fire Summon. At the same time, there's a lot of Fire Summons in here, so it's very possible that we've used a good chunk of them already. What did we throw out for that Braskas? Was there anything else we would have rather had instead? Amaterasu and a Magisa. Yeah, Magisa's probably... You really want to see that card earlier to ramp up. And we're going to attack with the Philia. Very interesting. Now, Braskas is big enough to block it, but if he does that, then we're 100%. I mean, you can use the Geomancer to finish it off, and you won't get a revenge trigger. Cloud, which will do absolutely nothing. If it could hit Philia, it would be, what, 7,000 damage, but no good here. However, surely we've got to have... We're not just going to let ourselves take 2 points of damage, are we? And then the Philia is going to die to the Braskas. But maybe RollingBear was trying to see if he could bait out the Blaskas. The Blaskas. I was trying to say the block from the Braskas. The Blaskas. He's trying to brack the Blaskas. No reaction. So for the first time, it feels like Overcast is slowly getting back into this game. Unless you've got a backup to put down, you just go right to combat. Let Braskas do his thing. Interesting. We didn't attack with Braskas first. Interesting. Which I guess it doesn't really matter, because again, everything this Mono Fire does is choosing. So the one thing our opponent could be doing, though, is if we haven't... See, but the Amaterasu only makes sense if we leave the Philia up, because the Amaterasu will cancel the Braska burn. But then we need something else to finish it off, and if we choose it again, it's just going to get the burn off anyway, so... All right. As expected, we let Braskas attack. Here comes the Afrida. Now we can cleanly hit it. So we'll deal Braskas 8,000, and then another 4,000 to the board. Furion will live, but we will get Broskas off the field, which is pretty good. Really, we could have even done that before the Broskas attack, but it doesn't matter. Choosing him, it was going to get blasted either way. So, I don't believe Furion should die. Okay, there we go. Had a little error, but yeah, I think he thought Furion was getting blasted too, but it would do 4,000 to the board, and then an additional 8,000 to a single target. And we got rid of the Broskas that way. All right, so the big rolling through, but again, hey, what did I say, man? This Furion, this is going to be your guy that puts in some work, and we don't even have the 5 backups out. We will throw out a March, get out our own Kuchaspel. So now if our opponent happens to try to counter with a Philly as well, we can also shut that off. And we have a Terra or a March here. Rayne, which we can do off. Oh, here we go, and then we're on damage 3, so we're going to get full advantage out of this Rayne. Rayne is going to blast Furion for 4,000. Swing in again. Man. Overcast, I'm so sorry to harp on this point, but again, if we had 5 backups right now, this Furion would be 10,000 power, which means off of this amount of backups, Rayne cannot kill it. Oof, there's our own Philia into damage. I don't know if we really even want to play it at this point, though, already on damage 5, so for game 2 and 3, Overcast, I'm channeling this at you, is that Furion, you gotta get him to 5 backups. That's when he's a real beast. Again, not that it's impossible for this deck to deal with it. It's got plenty of ping, plenty of things to hit, but it makes it trickier. And in situations like this, where we didn't get a ton of backups early, again, this very Rayne play, Rayne would not have been able to finish that off if we'd had our 5 backups down. All right, and we're going to tap 3, pitch a Mutsuki, pitch a Blaze, put out another version of Broskas. The Blaze probably, yeah, I don't know. The Blaze wouldn't have killed the Rayne, so I don't know how useful that would have been. Obviously, the Mutsuki was a dead card. The Broskas is at least guaranteed to take out the Rayne on the way out. If we're lucky, it'll last a bit longer than that. Rayne can't even attack, because I believe its attack is mandatory. Choose one for, yeah. So if Rayne attacks, it'll mandatorily choose the Broskas. Rayne will get blown up. Although, again, then Broskas will have, 4,000 damage on it, which is what we're counting on. 4,000 to Broskas, Rayne's going to die, and then we'll just finish Broskas off with basically any, even a 1-cost Eford at this point would be enough, because that'll be 6. Oh, and actually, no, it's even more, because our opponent's on 8, so yeah, that sucker's doing 9,000. 9,000 on his own. Boo! So we are at least getting value out of the Broskas in the sense that it is at least taking a forward down with it every time, but it's also so costly to keep putting it out there, especially when our opponent can answer it. And we're going with the old school Broskas, not quite as broken, but we've got Emperor Zandi. When he attacks, he's going to blast a forward for 5,000 damage. Hey, he's like Rayne in that sense. And then if he dies, he's also going to get to hit something for 9,000 damage as well. Both players only have about 10 cards left in deck. And this one's winding down, and I think RollingBear is going to win just because he's ahead on damage. Unless Overcast can pull something out. I mean, you never know. Again, another Furion here. Furion could be great just because our opponent, we're so low on cards, we might be out of tricks at this point. Although, again, I don't know how many times I'm going to bring this point up. Okay, last time I'll bring the point up for this match. Promise. If we had 5 backups with Furion, he'd be a 10k first strike. He could not only beat Zandi, he'd take no damage from him, and then the Zandi trigger would not be enough to kill him by itself. So, something out there. But that's it. I won't mention it anymore. Magisa. Fun card, man. We would have loved to have seen this way earlier, to have her go into Alphino or Forza or whatever else we got in this deck to bring out for free. Bergen would have been really nice. Could not get Magisa out there, though. 1 hit into damage. Had to throw one out earlier, so not going to help us in this case. Now, the interesting thing is, when Zandi attacks, he's going to automatically hit the Magisa trigger. So he can then go search out for whatever he wants. And at this point, I think Overcast's best chance of winning is to think about deck out. Because he is ahead. Even though his opponent is ahead on damage, he has more cards in his deck. So he could just try to sit there, hold on, and hope his opponent decks out. All right, and RollingBear knew there was no reason to attack. He just put down a Black Mage back up past his turn. We went ahead and tapped one, put out a bomb, and then used that bomb immediately to ping our own Magisa for 4k. We're going to get out of Bergen, bring him to the field. In theory, I guess we could try to, if we've got another summon in hand, we could finish off this Magisa. But Bergen is going to be a nice way to help us stall here, just because not only can he trade with the Zandi outright, he'll have that automatic damage anytime he attacks. And I don't think you force anything here with the Magisa. I think especially knowing that if your opponent attacks... Now, granted, we have given our opponent something else to hit, so we can hit the Bergen. But still, I think you just play it patient. You're ahead of your opponent on cards. You just get as many bodies as you can at this point, and you just sit. RollingBear is surely running out of removal at this point. We did get this Black Mage down, so he's probably going to be looking to recur one of these summons. Probably just go for this little one-drop Ifrit, since it's going to do 9,000 damage for 1 CP, which is insane. Insane. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to say, all right, let's just hold on, see if we can get that deck out. And we're going to go to combat. Swing with Emperor Zandi. Go ahead and blast Bergen for 5,000, tapping 3 CP. And we're going to cast Ifrita, and this is going to be enough to wipe out our board. We're going to hit the Magisa for 8,000. And then we will do an additional 4,000 to the board. That's going to be enough to finish both of these guys off. Ooh, that Ifrita coming in clutch. It was a valiant effort, Overcast, but unless you got some way around this, what we could do, if we have any mono Ifrits left, we could save one of these people. Probably just the Bergen, actually. The Bergen would be the only one we'd save. But we could take out the Zandi as well, then we'd take out the whole board. Because we really don't want to take another point. If we take another point of damage, I mean, I feel like it's pretty much over. Do we have the Ifrit? Oh, interesting. So we've got this Ifrit, but our opponent's only on 5. So we'll deal 5,000 back. And then oh, we have 2. Okay. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and blow the Zandi up. So it's one of your traditional Armageddon turns. Everybody's just going to blow up. You know, what we could have done, we could have actually hit our own Magisa with the Ifrit and then used her ability. However, I don't know if we actually want to dig deeper into our deck. If we're going for the deck out, we don't really want to draw any more cards than we have to. And RollingBear still had 1 Terra left in hand. He pitched the Braskas, plays a Terra, which is important because at this point you just want forward pressure. Both players are top decking. He pulled back in Ifrita. That's going to be huge. So now Overcast really needs to pull out a forward here. And granted, we know we've got Ifrita in hand, which I don't think is even going to matter. So maybe better we just need removal. Just kill this Terra. We just need to keep the forwards from hitting us. That's all we got to do. Here comes Terra. Do we have anything? Nope. Well, Blaze will kill her, but now we've gone under on the deck count. So at this point, I hope we've got some haste. But again, our opponent has the Ifrita in hand. They can just sit on the Ifrita. And dealing that point of damage, even though he lost the Terra, was massive for RollingBear because at this point you just sit and wait, right? Nope. He says we're going to put out one more. Man, he's pulling these forwards, which isn't surprising because he pitched so many of these summons early, so he was seeing these summons so much. It makes sense that all he was going to have left at that point are the forwards. So at this point, I mean, this one's pretty much over. Overcast, he needed to, he couldn't take another point of damage. He might as well have been on 6 because now he's behind in the deck count. He will deck out before his opponent. And RollingBear still has the forward threat, so we have to have a forward right this turn. And even so, like, he's not going to hit him for 4 damage. He'll deck out first, so this one's pretty much over. We'll see if he concedes or if he just plays it out. Cloud coming down says, we're not going down without a fight. We'll go ahead and blow up that Emperor Zandi and won't even die in return, which is nice. But again, all we've got to do... Yeah, we don't even have to attack. We know we've got the Ifrita in hand. Or if our opponent tries to attack us, which is a shame because if we could get this attack through somehow, if we somehow get this attack through, we will win. Our opponent will deck out on the next turn, but as that seems unlikely with that Ifrita in hand, unless there's some kind of magic summon canceling buried deep within this deck that I'm unaware of. It will be a valiant effort that unfortunately was for naught. And Overcast just goes ahead and passes, and we're just going to, I guess, play it out for prosperity's sake. RollingBear will pass back as well. And then Overcast loses via deck out. And again, we know our opponent's got the Afrita. They're probably talking that over. It's just that, yeah, there's nothing to be done here at this point. So that is game 1. We'll go to RollingBear. We will see if game 2 is any different. All right, welcome to game 2, which looks like kind of a repeat start. RollingBear went ahead and started off with a Zaz, searched out an Ifrit, and then it looks like Overcast starts with Kuchaspel. That might have been his start last time too, so far we might be doing a mirror match. We have thrown out a Rayne on one side, and have we thrown out double? Yes, we have. Okay, have I gone back in time? Am I watching the same match again? Both players throwing out Raynes to start. So, I promised I wouldn't mention... Ooh, discarding an Afrita and an Ifrit to go right into Emperor Zandi. Either RollingBear's decided to just try for early pressure this time, or he just... You know, that kind of happened to him last time, too. He didn't really see any of his backups. And like I said, I know him as a player. It's very unlikely he would do this if he could just take his time and curve out. So he probably had no other options. Going to go ahead and put Zandi out there. Overcast, if you can get your backups down, get them down. We'll get that Furion out. We will go to town. So hopefully he doesn't feel too obligated to answer this early pressure from the Zandi. There's no point in putting out anything tiny like a Terra. Zandi's just going to get rid of it when it attacks anyway. So how do we want to respond to this? Pitch our own Ifrit. Geomancer, perfect. Gonna draw ourselves a fire card. Bergen. I almost had this moment like, oh no, what if he hits Veritas? That would have felt bad. Draw Bergen. We still got 6 in hand though, so we need to play out something else. He might not have realized that because it looked like he was going to try to go to the end phase. So we're gonna have to discard down or a 4-cost. Our own Zaz would be good here. K-Tuna. You absolutely are fine dropping K-Tuna to blow Zandi out of the water, not let him get any value. Especially if RollingBear wasn't able to get backups. Like, this might be an opening for you. A K-Tuna here, just something... You know, play something. Don't just discard here. Unless, of course, your only I mean, I can't see his hand, so... Unless your only option is, again, a Terra or something that's just going to die when the Zandi swings. But if you have something that can accomplish anything... There we go, Palom. Deals a 4th. Yeah, absolutely worth it. It's not going to, finish Zandi off or anything, but now we're on 3 backups. Kind of a shame we could have played that Bergen next turn, but that's quite all right. We don't have to discard for hand. We've got a 3rd backup out. That's absolutely one of... Oh, and do we have more than this? Oh, why did we pitch the Blaze? Oh, no. I would have loved to have seen Blaze come down here. Man, I mean, we got the Zandi off the field, and that is good, but... I think, I don't know what else his other 2 cards were, but I think the move is you discard the Ifrit, something else, get the Blaze down. You've got 4 backups now, and you still kill the Zandi. You would be so far, yeah, you wouldn't have anything left in hand. You'd have 1 card left, but still, your opponent's on no backups. And look at this, he had to poop out another forward, like, Would have loved to have seen that Blaze, especially because, Blaze would have already been down, but especially because we now threw it out. Blaze is a perfect answer to this Terra as well, so... Yeah, Overcast definitely has an opening here, I hope. Oh no, an Overcast just did a no-action pass. Oh boy, RollingBear's got to be happy about that. When you've got a bad start like this and your opponent is pulling ahead on backups, that is the last thing you want to see is... we're probably going to take this out with an Ifrit, which is nice, but I don't know. Would have liked to have seen more use out of that, because chances are those other 2 CPs just going to go to waste unless we have some other plan our opponent doesn't know about. And so finally RollingBear gets a 2nd backup. Geomancer's going to reveal a 3rd backup. We might just slam that down right here, but either way we're set up to put it out on curve next turn. Yeah, that was unfortunate, just having to cast that Ifrit off of 1 CP. Again, maybe if we'd put that Blaze down, I don't know what he has in hand, but that would have been 4 CP to work with off of that turn, so chances are whatever you drew, you hopefully could have cast something. There's our Furion. He will have haste, which is nice, so we will go in for a point of damage. Let's get some support for this guy. Let's get him to that. Let's get a Lebro out and 1 more, and then we'll get him to that 10,000 power. And go big or go home. RollingBear tap 2. He went ahead and threw out an Afrita as well as our own Blaze. K-Tuna is going to come down, fetched us out the Amano Ifrit, and we just went ahead and sent Furion packing. We've got 3 backups now. We've got our summon amplifier. We're feeling better. All right, we threw out an ace, doled 2, put down Zaz, pulled out our Amano Ifrit. Kind of hate to see that ace go. Could have been useful, but he might also be trying to save a spot for that Lebro coming down. RollingBear is going to just keep curving out on his end. Here we go. Our Black Mage is down. I wouldn't be surprised if he just stops here. I don't think he feels the need to put out any forward. I mean, the only haste that Overcast has unequivocally is the Furion, and then only at 3 will the Rayne be a threat for haste. What happened to the Furion? Did it get removed? No, I'm looking at the wrong break zone. Why, he disappeared. Why, believe it or not, he was never there. All right, we're going to get our big bad bomb into the field. Dole 2. Dole 3rd, put out Lebro? No, get Terra. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get back something, unless RollingBear is going to cancel this. We will target Ifrit, which looks like that's all we had in there was all 3 of these Ifrits. And then we'll just pass back to our opponent. And now we're kind of set up similar to where we were last game. Probably start trading removal back and forth at this point. And we'll just tap 4. We'll go ahead and cast our 4-cost Ifrit. Blast that Terra for, 4,000 plus 1,000 for each backup. So it was 8 plus the K-Tuna, that's 9. Hit our Kuchaspel. We are curved out to a full 5. And we are just ready for removal galore here. So how can Overcast respond to this? More haste would definitely be nice, because right now all our opponent's backups are tapped out. At least this way, if he responds, he's basically going to have to dump his hand to get it accomplished. All right, we'll tap 2, pitch out an Ifrit, get Misuki, finally up to 5 backups. Both players are on 5 backups. RollingBear is ahead in his deck again. This time, Overcast hasn't taken any damage yet. That's kind of the key difference so far, is that we don't have a damage marker. Here comes Rubicante. And then RollingBear, I'll say, this is very much his style. He's more than happy just put out a forward like this, sit with his backups up, because he doesn't even care if this CP goes to waste, which chances are if Overcast puts out a forward, then it won't go to waste. He's going to have something in hand to remove it. All right, we tapped 3 and pitched Ophelia for Cloud. Left up 2 of our backups. A Cloud did 3,000 on entry to Rubicante, which wasn't even enough to kill it. And RollingBear can just freely swing in with this Rubicante because of his death trigger. Even if the Cloud blocks it, he's going to take him out with him. So I think he's probably going to have no issue doing that whatsoever. Unless he wants to leave it as a defender. I'll say, but I know his style. He's absolutely going to go in and say, I'm either taking a point of damage off you or a forward, your choice. Rubicante proven to be the version of the Archfiend we were always looking for. God, those other versions are just so bad. One of them just helped your opponent. The other one, I don't even remember what it did, the big 6-cost one, but it wasn't good. It was like very specific. I remember that. And so Overcast's probably debating, do I block this? Like, maybe you don't. I mean, I don't know. It's so hard, right? Because it's Mono Fire, because what are the odds he has something in hand to just kill Cloud anyway? I think you block this. I really think you do. Don't do the Cloud Mill. Oops. Well, they let the VV go. So now we're going to have to play something from hand. So either another forward's come out or Cloud's just going to die regardless. But again, kind of like last time, I think you're going to have to get rid of that Rubicante at some point. You can't win the game while he's still on the field. Geomancer's going to target Cloud for 2,000. Which means now almost any summon we have can finish him off. With the exception of the 1 CP Ifrit. Unless we've got Terra coming down. But we might just be playing an Ace or something. Yeah, exactly. There's Ace. And guess what? We've still got all the CP. We'll just pay the kicker. Deal another 9,000 on top of that to Cloud. Yeah, so this is exactly what I was worried about. So when you're playing this Mono Fire matchup again, and I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but you know, you can't be scared of something like Rubicante. You got to take it out. You have to. It is going to get you with its effect at some point, unless you have Kukulin or something to blanket, which you don't in Mono Fire. Just eat it while you can, you know, force it out of them. Are we going to respond with something? Oh, I don't know. What are we doing here? Because the Ifrit's pointless, right? We're discarding... Oh, we're actually just going to cancel it outright with Amaterasu. Okay, now that's not bad. That's pretty good. Our opponents played the ace and sunk an extra 3 CP into it, so that's pretty good. Granted, that was CP they weren't going to use anyway, but now if he wants to finish this cloud off, he's going to have to commit something else entirely. And it looks like he's more than happy to do it. He's like, all right, fine. If that's how it's going to be. Here comes Ranjit. Ranjit's going to take out Cloud. Unless we've got another Amaterasu in hand, which would be pretty sick. And then this Ranjit would die. Oh, no. Do we have one? Get out of here. Woo! Amaterasu, Amaterasu. Man, Overcast. Okay, well played. That was quite nice. You did it, sir. You saved your Cloud. And you took out the Ranjit, so that was good. RollingBear committed into that. He didn't have to overpay or anything because the Ranjit was so cheap, but still, you had to blow 2 Amaterasu, but you did keep your Cloud alive. He's not going to have anything in hand right at this moment to counter, so swing in. Get your point of damage, sir. Hopefully you didn't go through all that just to not attack. You kept this guy alive, you know. You lived for a reason, Cloud. We gotta make it worth it. We gotta make it worth it. Oh, we're using the bomb right now. Very nice. Okay, so now we're not gonna get that block trigger. Now Cloud's gonna go in. Whew, I was just like, oh man, I hope we don't hit a burst though, because that would feel really bad. Very nice. Didn't tap our backups for anything, but that's okay. Good job, Overcast. I like that. I kind of forgot about that play with the bomb, so maybe taking the damage wasn't so bad. But again, I can't see his hand. I'm just guessing. I didn't realize he was going to have Amaterasu's out the butt. Here comes Braska's. All right. RollingBear says, okay, enough of this stuff. Playtime's over. What do we got? So now Cloud can't swing through anymore unless we clear out space and get down LeBro, which the only place to do that would be Geomancer, which we could. In theory, what we could do... RollingBear's just... telling you, hey, what do you want to do? You want to attack the Nebraskas? I don't think we run Belias in this list because first strike to take out this Braskas would be awesome. So what we could do in theory is we could Geomancer our own Cloud to then put down a LeBro, have him swing in, offer the trade, which RollingBear probably doesn't want. Oh my goodness, we have Veritas. Never mind. Or we can ignore all those goofy shenanigans and just knock him out. Veritas is going to be a clean answer to Braskas. Boom, we hit another Braskas into damage. Overcast has got to be feeling good now. My man is in firm control. Well done, sir. He's really punching back. The cards are lining up for him this time. No pun intended. So, question is, can RollingBear push back himself? RollingBear is going to go ahead and cast Terra off of 4 backups. We got back ourselves an Ifrita. And at that point, we're just going to pass to our opponent. We've got the ace up. We can easily cast it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Ifrits in the break zone. So let's see. Can we wipe the board with that? We can take out one of them. Terra will do another. So it'll do what? 8,000 to 1. Let's say Veritas. And then 4,000 to the board. And then Terra will cast another pink. So we can't kill both of these forwards off of just that one summon. And it's unlikely we'll have another one in hand to follow. If we had like the 1-drop Ifrit, which I don't see any of the breaks on, so we could have it, we could dump our whole hand and take out both our opponent's forwards. We will then still have to sack a character off of that. We'd probably just get rid of the Zaz, I'd imagine. So it is possible. But we can stop one. And if we're willing to block with the Terra, we can stop both that way too without having to pitch our whole hand. Looks like we are using Geomancer's action ability. We're going to deal 2,000 to what I would assume would be Terra. And I wonder if we're clearing room for LeBro. LeBro would be nice here, get Cloud to 10. Again, it won't make him survive the Ifrita, but just LeBro is so nice in general. And if we've got that Furion, no, we're paying for it. We're playing Blaze. Interesting. Okay. So Blaze is going to come down, take out Terra right now. We are going to respond to that. So before that happens, we want to get this Terra ping. Although, again, without a follow-up summon, it shouldn't even matter. Pitched Amaterasu. Cast the Ifrita. So we'll go ahead and hit the Blaze for 8,000. And then it's going to do 4,000 to the board. Yes, 4,000 to the board, and then Terra Ping will probably hit Cloud again for another 2, put 6 on him. Now, because he's killing Veritas on the stack, though, well, you know what? He'll probably just sack Terra to the Veritas. Yep, that's what he was doing. So now that Veritas dies, he'll just go ahead and sack Terra to that anyway, because Blaze was going to kill it, so that way he mitigated the downside of the Veritas trigger. Pretty nice. I mean, there wasn't really ever going to be a way around that. Now we just hope we don't hit a burst on Cloud. Come on, no whammies, no whammies. Oh, that's a whammy. Well, the good news is that particular burst was going to kill Cloud regardless. It's 10,000. Don't mill him. Whatever you do, don't. The mill is probably what this match is going to come down to, so don't burn your deck. So we did end up getting rid of both our forwards anyway with the help of a lucky burst and the Afrida, and then we helped mitigate the downside of the Veritas. So pretty good comeback turn there for RollingBear. He's wasting no time. I'm just going to put out a no-value Ranjit. In this kind of match, you just want bodies. He does realize he is behind on deck count, so he really does need to start hitting his opponent for damage to catch up. So I think he's fine to have something like a no-value Ranjit. Man, if we could somehow get down Lebro here with Furion and just start rushing in, that would feel really good. All right, we used a combination of the Blaze action ability as well as the Mutsuki to do a total of 8,000 damage to Ranjit. After we cleared that, we pulled out Terra, and it looks like we were trying to get back one of our summons. On the stack of that, RollingBear is going to go ahead and cast Ifrit. Terra will die, but we will still get a summon back. Get Amaterasu. That's pretty important. And at this point, RollingBear knows he just has to keep forwards off the board. He cannot afford to let anyone attack him at this point. But Overcast is also fine to say, all right, well, I'll just grab an Amaterasu, and then whatever big body or anything you put down, I'm just going to try to blow it off the field as well. So early damage has really been a factor in these matches so far. And we'll see if it holds true. There is Lebro. We've been waiting all game for her. Now any forwards we put out are going to have an extra 1,000. This is where we want Furion to come in. Looks like we've only seen one go so far. So, again, that 10K. Not that, again, RollingBear can't answer it, but it at least presents one of the best threats we have. Speaking of threats, here's Rayne. He's on 3 damage, so he is going to get to go in for haste. And he only costs 1 CP. Pretty darn awesome. Nothing to hit with the trigger, but we're fine with that. You know, we could Amaterasu that. It doesn't have a target. Well, actually, maybe it doesn't go on the stack even if there's no target. No, that's... I don't remember how that worked. Hit a Black Mage into damage. Probably not too sad to see that go. Problem is we still got all this CP up, so chances are whatever forward comes down, it's just going to be answered immediately. All again, if we've got Furion and we've got a mono Ifrit, and we could help protect it that way, make our opponent really overpay to get rid of it, that'd feel pretty good. And we will play our own Emperor Zandi to the field. I didn't even know we had this card in here. Emperor Zandi's a nice beefy 10K. So the nice thing is this Rayne is going down no matter what we do to this Zandi. He's going to blast Rayne for 9 on the way out. So Rayne is not getting in for a point of damage this turn regardless, which is pretty nice. And as these Mono Fire Mirror matches often do, we just go into the mill out and the deck out basically. So yeah, he's going to say, go ahead, hit me with whatever summon you want. I'm at least taking that Rayne out with you. So unless we have the Zidane to go in for haste as well, unless something very creative happens. Okay, never mind. You can't underestimate the power of Veritas. We have Amaterasu in hand, though, right? Yeah, so we have Amaterasu in hand. I think you absolutely cast it. You can't lose this Zandi. Well, let's see. Then again, if you... Well, see, the Rayne's still going to hit you, though. I think you Amaterasu, you kill the Veritas, and then if you wanted to, you could sack the Zandi in response and kill the Rayne. Or, man, we hate to... We just got to our 5 backups, but it might be more worth it to sack the Palom, because that way you're trying to do things more efficiently, right? So if we Amaterasu this... Granted, we're going to be losing. We're going to go down to 1 card in hand, so that part's not so efficient. But if we don't do that, we're just losing this Emperor Zandi, and we're not going to get as much value out of it as we want. Whereas if we Amaterasu this, kill it, which we're absolutely going to do, for the exit trigger, you sack off the Palom. You still now have the superior forward on the board. Now, RollingBear has to If he wants to kill this Zandi, I mean, he can run the Rayne into it. He'll, he can ping it. Rayne comes in, you just block it. But then at least you both lose your forwards at that point. Veritas is a tricky one, but yeah, and he got rid of the Palom. I think that was absolutely the right play of Overcast. You're not really going to come out ahead against Veritas. That's kind of how the card's designed, is that you're almost always going to take two things from you, if not at least one thing. So, but yeah, in this case, one with the Rayne, ping him. I think you just block it here and just take them both out. Because again, similar to the Rubicante earlier, if you don't, and again, maybe it's just because I know RollingBear so well and I know how he plays. If you don't block, if you let this go to damage, you're letting him catch up on deck, and he's going to let go to damage. Now, the one benefit of this, our own Rayne is now live with haste, and perhaps that's what he's thinking. And maybe he has Rayne in hand as that last card. If we have Rayne now, if we had Rayne and Furion, that's going to be 2 cards with haste. We could lethal our opponent right here. I'm sure RollingBear has something in hand just in case, but that is the one benefit of going to damage. That would feel really good right now, to tap 3, put out Rayne. Well, no, Rayne wouldn't even cost that. So tap 3, put up Furion. Rayne would be what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So Rayne would just be 2 right now. That would feel pretty nice. Although if we have that, I feel like that's just a snap play. Here's Furion. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Oh, man, yeah, see, it sucks we had to lose that back up to Veritas, but... Okay, so no Rayne, but we are going to immediately just snap going with Furion. There's an Afrida. That's a great hit for Overcast. I think that might be all of our Afridas, is it? No, I think there is still one in there, but still, that's one less one to deal with. Zandi's going to come in, hit the Amaterasu. RollingBear only has 9 cards left in deck. He's on 6 damage, so now he either has to have blockers or he has to have some kind of removal for every single forward. Overcast puts down. Furion, like I said, putting in work right where he needed to be. Man, if we'd had Rayne there, so RollingBear didn't use that last CP. He might not have had anything in hand, which means, if we'd had Rayne, we might have been able to knock him out. Oh boy, we've got Zidane. That is exactly what RollingBear needed. Overcast, if you have a way to kill that thing, kill it now. You cannot let that hit you and then have it kill your Furion. So if you can stop it, do it. If you can't stop it, I mean, you can't stop it, but you really want to keep that Furion alive. Man, it's a shame we just haven't been able to get to 5 backups. And he did a really good job. It really wasn't Overcast's fault this time. Like, he just... Oh, and we hit another Furion. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. That has got to make RollingBear happy. I mean... Unless... Do we have Amaterasu? We do. Okay, so we are going to protect it. Awesome. No, that's perfect. So we took the damage, but we kept the Furion alive. So now this really puts RollingBear in a pickle. He has to get rid of one of these forwards. No, okay, he must have something in hand. He's going to have... He probably has an Afrida in hand. Because we cast Afrida here. Furion took 5. Well, Afrida will deal 8,000 to the Zandi, and then it'll do the AoE. Yep, there's our last Afrida. You've got, of course, more than enough efforts in the break zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have exactly 5? Oh, we have exactly 5. No, we've got 6, yeah, because I can't see a free as well. And the good news is we will get our Zandi trigger in return, but we did still wipe the board, and our opponent has no cards in hand, so man, this is where we really hate to see that Furion go into damage. I think that's all of them, right? And that's probably why he felt fine committing to that, because... Yep, that's all our Furion, so he knows. Top deck of Rayne. Man, RollingBear really pulled this one back. Overcast now he is still ahead on deck advantage, but he's got to watch out. We're gonna be playing the same game we played last time of characters just, trying to outlive each other. So it looks like we've only seen one Rayne. I don't know how many he runs. Rayne would be so nice here. Or even if we had Magissa and we could get out. We have Magissa. Oh, do we have a way to ping it? We don't. Okay, well, did what we have to do. Put Magissa out. Unless RollingBear hits this for enough damage to kill it in one, we're going to pull out a forward on his turn. But we got to be a little careful. No, he's got 5 in deck. Okay, so we are still ahead on deck. Okay, so we're using the Black Mage ability. Moving Black Mage to the breakdown. Throwing out the Philia. That's pointless now. We just kill ourselves with it. Get back a Frida once again. Here's going to come that massive board wipe. And we're just going to cast it right here. Say, yeah, I don't want you getting anything off of that Magisa. Magisa's going to die. Rolling Bear's holding on. If we have another Rayne in this deck, though, that's all we... Oh, and then there's Rubicante. Oh, my goodness, Rolling Bear. Is your deck just giving you everything you need at the right moment, or have you been holding these tricks in reserve? Man, that's unfortunate, because now the Rayne doesn't matter. I mean, we can still force forwards, though, right? He has to block. So the Rayne still can run into the Rubicante. They'll both die, but he has to block this, and you're ahead on deck advantage. Our opponent's only at... Got close, though. 6-5 now. Oh, dear. What do we do? We pitched a Katuna. Oh, my goodness. 6 cards left in deck. We're summoning Katuna. I hope we've got a summon. We do. We have Bahamut. He's going to go ahead and remove Rubicante completely from the game, so he wouldn't get his on-death trigger even if he had it. I mean, this is just going to deck out, I guess, at this point. There's probably no haste left in either player's deck. Do they even have forwards? We'll see what Rolling Bear draws. Overcast is ahead by just one turn. One turn is the difference that separates these two. Oh, man. This one's coming down to the wire again, which is, typical for your Mono Fire matches, especially these mirror matches. All right, Rolling Bear dumps his hand to drop the mighty Braska's final Aeon here. Does Overcast have a way to deal with this card? Between Mutsuki and Katuna, any summon will kill this card. We can do a 1-drop Ifrit, the big Ifrit, and then we can tap them. So we can, which is really what you need to do at this point. You just need a summon or a body. Furion could get over it right now, and our opponent has nothing. So, but no, we're out of Furion. That's right, because we hit that one into damage. God, that was such a good damage hit for Rolling Bear. I mean, I think the game would have been over if Overcast had been able to get that. We just need any summon. I mean, do we have anything? Because if we don't have anything and our opponent hits us, then I think we just... No, we won't lose. So we would go to 2 left in deck. We would still get 1 more draw. And we would still be ahead of our opponent, but they'll still have a Braska's coming at us, so they'll just finish this off the old-fashioned way. Oh, what are we... Tell me we've got something, or did we just, dead draw into backups? Because, yeah, the only thing... We've got a bomb. All right, that's not what we want to see here. Not when the game's over and we have no characters to put out. We don't want to see a bomb. So between a Mutsuki and a bomb, we can currently deal a maximum of 4,000 damage. That is not quite what we're looking for. But we are tapping 4. Terra, interesting. Okay. Okay. So that's good. Get 1 on the bomb. Terra's going to get us back a summon. Ooh, is that what we go for? Do we have any 1-cost Ifrits? I think what we should have done is go for the 1-cost Ifrit here. Because with the 1-cost Ifrit, we can cast it from hand. It's going to do 8,000 plus 1,000 here. That's 9 plus the Terra. Yeah, Terra's going to die in response, of course, but who cares? You get the Braskas off the field. You just have to survive this turn. Which actually, do we win anyway? Does it not even matter? Because Braskas will put him to 6. And then, but we'll have 2 left in deck. We'll still get to draw, and then our opponent decks out. So yeah, unless Rolling Bear has haste here. Oh my God, don't tell me he has haste. No, he's got it. Well, he's going to grab that last card in his deck. Is it a Zidane? Is there another Zidane? It's another Geomancer. Okay, so that's the game. Doesn't even matter if Braska's attacks here. We just deck out on the next turn, so yeah, it ultimately didn't matter. We'll kill the Terra. Terra will die, go to 6 damage. Still 2 left in deck. So yeah, this time getting ahead of our opponent really made the difference. 6 damage. You know what that means, folks. We're going to game 3. All right, folks, welcome back. I apologize for the delay. I had to go take a break, and they went ahead and got started without me, which is absolutely fine. Let's get this show rolling. All right, so looks like Rolling Bear. We've got 3 backups. Looks like we were able to curb out pretty nicely. Got a Terra. Plenty of cards in hand. Overcast has Mutsuki. You see an early Lebro. That's really nice. And looks like it is currently his turn, and he is deciding what to do. Just going to check the old log really quick. Yeah, so it looks like we discarded an Ifrit to play one Black Mage turn 1. Discarded a Katuna and a Furion. Ooh, I would not have thrown out Furion for Mitsuki. And then, excuse me, threw out an Emperor, got the Geomancer. And that kind of brings us up to where we are. Yeah, haste is so valuable in this matchup that I don't care what else I've gotten here. I'd have thrown that bomb out if I had it, but yeah, I would not throw out haste no matter what. All right, and to deal with the Terra, we actually just put a bomb out and then immediately broke it for 1,000, and we used the Mitsuki ping to get the extra 1,000, so we just got rid of the Terra. Put a Zandi down, no value, but hey, we're curving out backups, which is what we want. I'm sure both players realize at this point this match is going to go to a deck out, a mono mill, so the less damage you can take, the better, because you've got to get ahead in this matchup, so probably why Overcast was more than happy to just drop the bomb and use the Mitsuki combo. Overcast went ahead and put out Rayne. That is quite unfortunate, man. We must not have had any backups, because that Rayne cost us 4, and it didn't even have haste, didn't get to attack. RollingBear is just going to respond with an Ifrit, get it off the board right away. That's really unfortunate for our opponent. And now we'll get out to our 5 backups. Geomancer is going to draw us another card, one of our many Ifrits. RollingBear is looking pretty good this round, and Overcast is in trouble. All right, we still don't have more backups, but we did get out Magisa. So, and I was just about to say, and maybe since we don't have K-Tune, our opponent can't take it out in one fell swoop, but nope, here comes Ifrit. He's going to deal exactly 9,000 damage to Magisa. Man, Overcast had been looking for this card early for so long. He finally sees it, and of course RollingBear says, that's nice, but yeah. I have to say no to that one. I don't really see what because you can't use Ifrit to buff your own Magisa. There's no way to protect against this, so that is unfortunately just a one and done. All right, we will drop a no-value Blaze on Overcast turn. RollingBear is going to go ahead, cast Terra, get us back an Ifrita. We've already got 4 Ifrits in the breaks in, all 3 of the 4-cost ones. We'll dump our own Blaze, set up Rubicante, and yeah, at this point, you know your opponent has no AoE. Just go wide. You know, they can't respond to all these forwards at once. It really, man, RollingBear must have been so happy to see the Blaze come down on that last turn. Oh, cool. Well, I've got 2 5,000 power forwards, so Blaze would have been the perfect answer, but no longer. But we're going to get rid of them any way we know how. 1 Ifrit to do away with Terra. We'll reset the Mutsuki. And we have a second Ifrit. Two little 1-costs coming in to just go pew, pew. You're done. You're done. Tap Mutsuki again. Yep. The second 1-cost Ifrit. Well, it wasn't as efficient as a Blaze, but we did do it. We still have 5 cards in hand. Oh, man, tell me we can get a backup down here, or are we just passing? Forward, backup. Furion, okay, oh, good, yes, and we have haste. Good, so now this is a threat. Hey, if you don't want to take a point of damage, you better burn removal on me. And we will see what RollingBear decides to do. Oh, man, and there's no K-Tune. All right, we took it. So that's one of our many summons gone. Amaterasu. Furion doing what he's done every single one of these matches, coming up big. I can't imagine he's going to stay around long. It's hard to see this turn going by with him still being on the board, but a man can dream. Yep. This is going to be probably a Braska's, I'd imagine. Or is this just a Zandi? Either way, Furion's not getting over it. No, we changed our mind. Tapped all 5, so I assumed it was going to be Braska's or Zandi, but Veritas here would be pretty crippling, especially when your opponent's on a lower number of backups. That's when they deal with it, they're going to lose something. We are clearing backup space. I wonder if we do want to get that K-Tuna down. I feel like RollingBear's deck just doesn't feel quite as potent without it. Yep. We're tapping 4. Pitching a Zandi. Here comes K-Tuna. And now we can just wipe this out with whatever we want. Probably in a mono Ifrit. Usually you want to keep the EX burst in the deck. Potentially hit into damage, but... So, as expected, Furion, we knew you well. Thanks for coming in. You got us 1 point of damage. But that has been significant. So now with this K-Tuna search as well, look at the deck difference now. 31 to 26 cards. So, you know, that could be big. So Overcast does have the deck limit advantage right now, which so far in the other 2 matches, it's come down to that. All right, we'll pull out Terra. We'll throw out an Mono Ifrit, get that very Mono Ifrit back. Again, just kind of putting this forward pressure on the board. I mean, RollingBear is going to have all 5 of his backups, 7 in hand. I don't think the extra 1,000 buff from LeBro is going to save Terra from anything, but still, forcing our opponent to answer body's never bad. Rayne would be pretty brutal here. 1 CP. We'll knock this Terra out. Well, no, we don't have haste, actually, so we will need to combine it with something else. Yeah, Ranjit works, too. Yep, Ranjit just says bye-bye. Do we have Amaterasu in hand? If we have it, I think we use it. If we have it, I think we use Amaterasu. Force your opponent to have to spend more of that CP and use another one of their summons. Yes, he's got Black Mage. Yes, he's got Terra, but eventually they will run out of summons. Nope, not this time. Ranjit will get to do what he needs to do. And we will pass back to our opponent. All right, we're having deja vu here. We went ahead and used Terra to discard the Ifrit, bring back the very Ifrit. Now Ifrit's going to come in, blast Ranjit for 8, Terra will ping it for 2. We are countering with our own Afrita. I don't think it even matters whether we have it, because we can just hit it for the straight 8,000, but I think we've got enough Ifrits anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 6. So we'll just overkill. Afrita will just boom. And once again, we are just clearing the board of forwards. And we're going to pass back to RollingBear. RollingBear says, enough playing around. I'm just going to put out Broskas on my turn and pass. And Overcast is looking to counter with an ace. He's going to have to pay for this a bit awkwardly. I'm assuming he's going to try to do a kicker and a Mitsuki. So he's going to have to pitch 2 cards from hand if that's what he wants to do. But it's probably worth it to get this Broskas off the field. Yeah, you'll have to overpay a little, but, I mean, you don't want this guy swinging in. Best to clear him now while you've got nothing else. So we'll pitch a LeBro. Ooh, pitch a Magisa. That kind of hurts. For the kicker, we'll do 9,000, and then Mitsuki will finish it off with another 1,000. Broskas will go. Mitsuki will reactivate. But I doubt we have anything left, and at this point, we pass back. And the removal war continues. Fire Wars. Dun dun. I wonder if RollingBear's just going to jam out another one. Okay, yep. He's like, all right, well, here's Broskas number 2. What do you got to answer this one? And he says, you want to challenge me to answer it? Oh, I'll answer it. Here comes Vermilion Bird, Lassie, K-Tuna. Boom, we're going to go ahead and get that 4-cost Bahamut. Just remove Broskas from the game. He's not coming back. I don't think he was coming back anyway. So 2 Broskas in a row and 2 answers in a row, and finally Overcast has caught up. He's on 5 backups now. Somehow managed to do it. Just removal every... Oh my god, here's the 3rd Broskas. Oh goodness, and we kept CP up this time. I wonder why. I wonder if we've got a trick to try to do something, or maybe we're thinking, okay, if they play another Terra, we're going to... What's it called? Terra, we're going to Amaterasu it, I guess. Do we have Amaterasu? There's 1 left somewhere. 1 in damage, 1 in the break zone. Or no, sorry, that's Overcast. There's 2 left then, because there's 1 in damage. All right, this is the last and final Broskas. This is truly Broskas' final Aeon. We had Broskas' first Aeon, Broskas' second Aeon. Broskas came out and said, guys, I'm super serial this time, okay? This is Broskas' final Aeon. Blaze action ability, 7,000. Now we just follow it up with anything. Another backup. Are we going to Mutsuki ping? Oh, goodness. Here comes a bomb. We can immediately break the bomb if we've got something else. Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to use the bomb. Get Mutsuki back and pass back. Well, we went back from our 5 backups, unless we can get something down here. Here comes Terra. Yep, and why do I have a feeling that Amaterasu is going to come out here? Terra is going to try to get back one of these summons. He's going for the Bahamut. Really favors that one. That's interesting. No Amaterasu I'm showing, unless... Nope, here it comes. Yeah, okay. I was like, surely Amaterasu is going to come out of here. Ranjit, Amaterasu. No one has any forwards. No one has any cards. No one has any fun. And we just continue to burn it all down to the ground. All right, we're going to see Rayne on Rayne action. RollingBear tapped a single CP, put out Rayne. He doesn't have haste. He can't do anything. He didn't even have a target. Now Overcast is going to tap 2 CP, put out his own Rayne, which does have a target. He will target the enemy Rayne for 4,000. Mutsuki. Here comes an Ifrit. Pew! Let's go ahead and knock it out. He's going to die. The question is, now will RollingBear also respond with a summon to make that Rayne die, because neither of them has any haste. Oh my goodness. And it continues. All right. And what did we do? We used Geomancer, did 2,000 damage to Rayne. Then we replaced it with an ace, did another 5,000 damage to Rayne. Then Rayne came in and did another 5,000 damage to Rayne. So Rayne begot Rayne begot Rayne. And we need some rain. We need some water to douse all this fire that's burning up the place. Rayne begot Rayne begot Rayne begot Veritas of the Dark, which is very appropriate thematically. So for those of you who don't know, I guess story spoilers for Brave Exvius, in case you're worried about that. So this is your chance. Rayne's father, Reagan, basically becomes Veritas of the Dark. So Rayne just kind of had like a Darth Vader moment where Veritas came down and he was like, "You killed him." And he's like, "No, I am your father." And Rayne, "No, no, that's not true. That's impossible." "Search your feelings, Rayne. You know it to be true." I kind of inverted the quote there. I apologize. But the crying comes after. All right, RollingBear. Do we have any more Rayne, or have we used up all our Rayne? Okay, so Rubicante is going to come down. Not on damage 3, but again, we know Veritas can't run into this. Although, I mean, I guess he could, because if we block with Rubicante, we'll kill the Veritas, but we are then going to lose one of our backups, so it might be worth it to swing with the Veritas anyway. Or we can just have Big Bad Furion come down. Here's that haste we need so well. We still got 3 backups on RollingBear's side, so he probably has a response to this. We could block with the Rubicante, and then we could take the Furion out, but then we'll still have the Veritas, or we can use something we have in hand. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do here. But again, with 3 backups up, and a Frida would just clean up here as well. So we're actually going to crack the Black Mage. Pay the K-Tuna, so we're probably looking for some... Are we out of Afridas? Let's see. We're pulling back in Afrida. We obviously have enough Ifrits to make everything live. And that looks like that's the only one we've seen, so that's why we're doing it. Dol Zandi, cast Afrida. Afrida's going to do 8,000 to Veritas of the Dark. So he'll go out, and then we're probably just going to sack, because then we'll do 4,000 to the board, and then we'll probably just get rid of Rubicante and take out the Furion, so we will prevent all points of damage. Yep, sack the Rubicante, the Veritas effect. Kill the Rayne. Rayne, it was a nice try. Or not Rayne. I'm thinking of Rayne because we had so many Raynes. Furion was a good effort, but sadly was not meant to be. So we've got 1 Rayne, 2 Raynes. How many Furions? 1, 2. Oh no, that's our last Furion. Well, I think that means Overcast is out of haste. Curious to know what he's doing here. I don't think there's a way to... Unless is he using Amaterasu to cancel the Rubicante ability? No, he's using Ifrit. Interesting. I don't know if that will matter, will it? So it'll deal 8,000, so he'll still die. Furion will go up to 10. It will. Oh, it'll be just enough. Firion will have taken 4,000 from the Vermilion Bird, and then it would take another 5,000 here from Rubicante. But with 10,000, so what he's doing is on the stack before the Rubicante gets stacked off. He's actually just going to kill it outright with the Ifrit, which is not only, you know what that actually means too? That means we're going to have another Famfrit or Veritas effect because he can't sack the Rubicante to the Veritas. So he can still kill this, but now he's going to lose another character still for the Veritas trigger. So everything's going to die. We'll remove the ace for the Veritas trigger. Wow. Question, was that worth it? I mean, the Firion does die. We don't take another point of damage, and we really don't want to fall farther behind, but RollingBear has dumped his entire hand. He's now down to 3 backups. Overcast is still on 4, plus we still have 2 in hand. But we did prevent that point of damage. Oh gosh, are we doing even more? We're not doing even more, are we? Rubicante's back on the table. Oh man, if I could do my John Madden lines right now, you know, this happened to this happened. That was quite the stack. But yeah, so at the end of the day, we didn't take another point of damage, which is absolutely what RollingBear wanted, but he had to dump his whole hand to prevent that, and he lost another backup. He's going to be in pure top deck mode, and Overcast is still ahead on deck, still ahead with cards in hand. A Zandi here would be great. We need a way to fire back. It's another Rayne, or we're going to Rayne begot Rayne, but again, no haste. There's a single point of damage that's been done for this entire match. Holy cow. All right, we didn't have instant removal for Rayne. However, we did put down Emperor Zandi. We had to discard Magisa. I guess she's just not going to get a chance to shine in this matchup, and I don't blame him at this point. I mean, what 3 costs do you even have to pull out? Your Firions are gone. So we can run Rayne into Zandi, and then Zandi will die, and we'll kill Rayne, or we can use a summon to get rid of him. Either way, this board will once again end with both of these forwards dying. Overcast is determined to not take a single point of damage, unless he tries something different. I mean, at this point, again, these matches have all gone to deck out. If you're trying to win here, you just block with the Zandi. Again, he might have removal for it anyway. There's no reason to take the point of damage. I know you're hoping to swing back, but just keep trading out at this point. No, it looks like he might be willing to take it. I don't feel like he'd put these damage markers on if he wasn't willing to. Maybe he wants to see what he can get away with. Like, okay, no, I'm going to counter swing. I'm going to push back damage on you. You're going to have to answer this guy. And Overcast, after both players have gone through nearly 40 cards apiece in their decks, finally takes his first point of damage. It is an Ifrit. It's so funny that this match, like, no damage has been done, because the other 2 matches, you know, both players got to 6-5, pretty high. Overcast will lose one of those Amano Ifrits. That was his last one. The other ones are already gone. You really got to wonder what's even left in his deck at this point. Hopefully we're not just going to start dead drawn into a bunch of backups, but only 11 cards left. Let's check out RollingBear's break zone. RollingBear's probably wondering now too. He's like, oh, well, he probably wasn't expecting him to take that point of damage. So now he's thinking, okay, so what do I do? Do I remove the Zandi? I don't know. Maybe you just let it swing back. Well, see, that's going to put you closer to deck out. But you also... So if you're RollingBear and you're in this situation and you have any hope of winning, I mean, you have to keep forwards, right? You now have to push him to damage, because otherwise he's naturally going to deck you out first. Zandi's going to guarantee something's going to die. And I wonder if you pull the trigger on the Afrita right here. Nope, never mind. It's Amaterasu. You're not even getting that. Okay, well, that was a good try. I was going to say, because if you just leave that Terra out there, the Zandi's going to kill it just for attacking. And then again, Zandi on his death trigger is going to do something else. All right, 9 left in deck here for Overcast, 8 left for RollingBear. I don't think there's any haste left other than Zidane. Zidane's the only thing we haven't seen on RollingBear's side that could give him an edge. Zandi's going to go in. Take another Afrita. I believe that's all of our Afritas. Let's see. One. No, do we still have one left? I see one in here. We might still have a single Afrita left. Yeah, I think we do. That's going to be... I mean, do we just start trading hits back? So RollingBear has 5 left in his deck. So not counting damage, he's got 2 more turns after this. But, of course, damage could change that as well. Rayne's going to ping Zandi for 3. We're going to hit back, and maybe this... Is this how democracy dies? Nope. Okay, Amaterasu again. Rayne's gone. Yeah, I think this one's over. I would love to see RollingBear pull out some kind of miracle I'm not expecting, but I mean, as is typical in these mono-fire mirror matches, I don't see how you keep a forward on the field long enough to get ahead of him in deck count. So at this point, it will be our third match decided by deck out. Zandi swings in. We do hit an EX burst. It's March. I don't even know if we want to use it, do we? I mean, because that's just... If we use that... Yeah, he just says no. I don't think so. Because right now he has 2 turns left, right? 1, 2... Well, he'll have 3 if he doesn't take any more damage. This turn, the next... No. There's 2 left. Okay, so he'll have these 2 turns left. If he grabbed the March, this actually would have been his very last turn. Veritas will remove Zandi. Oh, but that means Zandi is just going to kill Veritas in return. I mean, yeah, he'll have to sack a backup. Might just sack the ace or the black mage he just got. Yeah, and that's it. That's going to be game. There's just absolutely nothing RollingBear can do at this point. He's just playing it out just to play it out. But in the end, so RollingBear really hit him pretty hard that first game, and then after that, Overcast just found his footing and he was able to stall. He used his haste when he was able to. He had just a bit more haste in his deck with those Furion. Like, legit, that's the MVP of this match, is that Furion. That haste is absolute what made the difference. Without that, I don't think he wins because he needed those extra times to get a point in. No value VV coming down for 5,000. RollingBear will take his very last turn, draw the remnants of his deck, and either pass and just concede or maybe play it out to the end. There's a Ranjit. Ranjit will go ahead and knock out VV. I'm assuming we're out of Amaterasu's. We can't cast those anymore. Hey, and there's Zidane. Oh, he was at the bottom of the deck. Man, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. We needed to see this earlier. Granted, our opponent has so much removal. Who knows if it even would have gotten in, but that's it, folks. That's GG. Well played, and man, they burned it to the ground. Have a good night.